Whoa, in-game live on a Thursday night on SportsGrid. It's great to be with all of you. Kevin Walsh alongside Gabriel Morency. And man, we've got a lot on the board tonight. Some baseball off and running, plus coming up here. We've got 3 WNBA games tonight, including the Aces and the Liberty, which always feels big when they get together. A CFL game, the final spot remaining in the TBT championship game. There's still some soccer friendlies that I'm going to be betting, of course. Let's never talk about that MLS Liga MX game last night. I think they're still scoring goals in that all-star game. Plus, of course, the latest rumors with some deadlines approaching. Yesterday, Jeff Passan really listed 2 names or 2 teams in that Tariq Skubal sweepstakes with the Dodgers and the Brewers front of mind. So certainly a lot for us to get to here tonight, Gabe.
Yeah, I'm fired up. A lot of action tonight. A little bit of something for everybody. We've got CFL football, TBT basketball. We've got international soccer. We've got WNBA basketball, Major League Baseball games. As we stated, there's something for everybody, but TBT really is about to tip off momentarily right now. And as Kevin alluded to, we've got 1 spot left in the championship game that'll take place in Lexington, Kentucky on a Sunday. La Familia get it done. We were on the right side of the game once again last night. So this is the non-alumni championship to get to play in the overall championship game to represent the non-alums for the $2 million. And I've talked a lot, Kevin, about this Mecca team. You know, I tell you what, I like a lot of their players. I like the way that they play. These guys are fearless. They have size. They have scores. I've always been a big Casper Ware fan, going back to his Long Beach days. And this is a California crew. You know, you've got dudes from UCLA, USC, Hawaii, Fresno State, Long Beach. It's all dudes that live in L.A., and they've really come together right now. This is a dangerous team. I have a lot of respect for Davis Steele. I do. I mean, they used to be Eberline Drive. They've been a mainstay in this tournament. But put it this way, man. If I was getting 4, if the Mecca was favored by 4.5, Kevin, I'd be taking Davis Steele. But we're getting 4.5 in this game, and that's enough to pique my interest. Give me the Mecca plus 4.5 here in the TBT.
That is kind of the first up-and-coming action on our slate tonight. 2 games will tip off in the W at 8 o'clock. It is, again, a baseball board. The Mets-Marlins game is delayed here, but the Braves and Nationals are going to get underway. I don't mind Atlanta. They're a little pricey here. Reds-Pirates with Pittsburgh as a slight road favorite. I think it's almost like under the radar that the Reds are 50 and 57. You know what I mean? Like, we're looking for who are the sellers at this deadline. You know, Cincinnati would be one of them. I think sometimes you have to, look in the mirror here. And if you're Cincinnati, you're 6 back, but you've got 6 teams in front of you. It's just not going to happen, Gabe.
It's been a disappointing year, I think, for the Cincinnati Reds. At least it is to me. They've taken a step backwards, right? Mm-hmm. Last year, they were a trendy team. And, I'm a big Francona guy. And I did think that this team was like, a playoff caliber baseball team. They have one of the cheapest ownership groups in Major League Baseball, though, right? So you sort of, after a while, you get worn out. Prospects can only take you so far before you bring in players that can actually help you. But they've been big underachievers this year. As far as the Atlanta Braves are concerned, I know the Nationals have been hitting the baseball, but this is a good Brave spot. And it's gone up a little bit. It was 50 cents earlier in the day, Kevin, up to 60 right now. But I think the market has this one right. How many innings is Irvin really going to be able to give you coming back? This does feel like a pretty good Brave spot, and I'm surprised they're not bigger favorites, actually.
Yeah, agree with you. Late night, Gabe's guy, Roki Sasaki, is going to get the baseball against Brian Wu.
And we have some in-depth analysis about Sasaki.
Yeah,
we'll get to a little bit later on.
Yeah, we'll dive into that. A little bit more on the W. We're running back Lynx tempo. We saw the tempo. It's funny, man. Sometimes you do these kind of home and homes, and you think, man, you lost on the road. You were competitive. Back to your building. This could be a good spot. I don't know if you're trusting Toronto tonight. You know me, I took the 16.5. I'm not laying 12.5 with the Lynx here, Gabe, but I'm not running to bet the tempo here, catching points despite being at home.
I think this is a good spot for the tempo. Once again, I think it's too many points. Look, we discussed this the other night. As far as the Minnesota Lynx are concerned, as far as them winning games but not blowing teams out, and or blowing teams out and take the pedal off the metal, because they were up by like 19-20 a couple of times against the Tempo the other night. The Tempo are a very resilient group, but I dug down a little bit deeper, guys. How about this, Kevin? The Minnesota Lynx have not won a game by 12 or more points since June 17th.
Mm-hmm.
It's July 30th today.
Mm-hmm.
And the WNBA did not take a month off for the World Cup like everybody else. All right, so it's not, well, they didn't really play, right? Like, it's not like MLS where stats are a little bit skewed. They really haven't. They haven't won. They haven't blown anyone out by more than 12 points, 13 points, 12 points. They actually the number is 12.5 the spread, but since June 17th, guys, right? And one thing, listen, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to go back to the window with the Toronto Tempo this evening. I'm obviously going to take the over again. The Tempo we've seen, Kevin, to become one of the automatic overs in the W right now. And this is where I'm going to go contrarian, because Marina Mabry had a big night the other night. Normally, it's very dangerous to go back-to-back with Money Mabry. She costs you money. She's incredibly consistently inconsistent. Like, she goes off, she'll score 6 points one night, she'll drop 28 the next. 9 points one night, 33 the next. She has a harder time stringing together back-to-backs like this, but I'm feeling that she can tonight. I think she's going to get into the mid-20s again tonight. So I'm going to go with Money Mabry to go 20 or more tonight.
My favorite bet in that game is actually, it's something I kind of did in the last meeting. I'm just going the other direction. So I had the Nafisha Collier under, got there. Now I'm taking Olivia Miles under the 18.5. That to me is kind of how we zag this thing. I think these two superstars might trade on and off a little bit. Who's the dominant player game to game? Obviously, I think the blowout could happen here. I trust me, well aware of the statistics. Like, this could be a closer game. But also, Olivia Miles scored 24 against the Tempo. Great numbers. 4 or 5 from 3. Guys, that's an outlier shooting night for any player. Certainly, Olivia Miles fits that description. I'm not saying she's going to score 11, but I think Olivia Miles, who scored 13 in that first game that Fee played in, might be closer to that number than this mid-20s number.
Miles is another one who is sort of up and down, right? She's obviously having an awesome season, but as far as her scoring, she mixes up, Kevin, the 14s and the 15-point type of nights with the 24s. But she, she also racks up the assists and rebounds, and she makes, was it last night, 2 nights ago, whatever, 2 nights ago. There was one pass behind the back between the legs, Kevin. I don't know if you saw it, the video of it. She casually, walked. She was up the court. She knew someone was trailing behind her. She was a no look, between her legs. Boom, no look. And the girl drained it for a 3, so it made it even better. And Olivia, turned around without seeing it to make it even look cooler. You know what I mean? So she did the behind the no look through the leg pass, and then sort of turned around and started going back down the court hey, it's going to go in. And it did. But I think Collier, we'll get to it on the other side. I think Collier could go over tonight.
We'll get right back to it. Back here on SportsGrid, we were just talking a little about the tempo and the length. Certainly a big game tonight. Gabe, looks like you're willing to go back to the well here with Nafisa Collier in what will be her third game played this season.
Yeah, we're kind of playing the number in the sense that, listen, she scored 24 points in 20 minutes in her first game back. I went with the over 19.5 in her first home game back the other night. She was cold early, so I can't blame the blowout. Like, she took a lot of shots when she was on the floor early. She was 3 for 9 from the floor. She was 0 for 3 from 3. She just wasn't hitting her shots, and the game became a blowout. The Lynx were up by double digits most of the night. And at one point, it was in the high teens. It was lingering, in between 15 and 20 for a lot of the game. And she came out, right? She didn't play. And then suddenly the tempo went on this crazy run, and Mabry started bombing threes, and they got back in the game. Nafisa's come back in, Kevin, and she skyrocketed from 6 to 15, quickly, right? And with 2 minutes left, I'm like, all right, we're going to fall just short. But she has a certain level of standard that, I'm not saying she's going to drop 27 tonight, but it's 19.5 again. So if I liked it in the last game, I almost have to go back to it once again tonight. And I do. It didn't make the top of the cut. I can't overlook the fact that Minnesota haven't won a game by this many points since June 17th. Mm-hmm. I can't overlook the fact that the tempo, and if there's one WNBA team, we do know it's the tempo. They don't quit, Kevin. They don't quit. They're down a lot, right? They're an expansion team. They're kind of used to it. They really do not quit. They just keep shooting. They keep battling. They haven't been great at home, but they've been a very good home dog, and they've been a good underdog on the season. They're 11-9 ATS as an underdog on the season right now. I think it's just too many points tonight. And we've also seen the tempo cannot stop anything or anybody. So We're going over to 186.5. Marina Mabry over 19.5. 20 or more, 170.
Yeah, last night, we had one of the rare unders in this league because these Valkyrie totals are now going over by 25 points, which is remarkable in its own right with the Dream and the Wings. And really, it was a terrible loss by Dallas. I mean, they blew a gigantic, not just it's not as if they were up by 100. They were up by 15 at one point. But they were up 7 with 30 to go and lost in regulation. And by the way, didn't even lose at the buzzer. Just really, I don't know, man. Maybe it's an adjustment, but sometimes I catch the end of these close Dallas Wings games, and their execution is just not there. I mean, you would think, okay, they're going to have a shot. Who's going to be the one taking it? I mean, it was Alaquer who took the potential winning shot from 3. She's a 6'6" center. Literally the last person who should be taking the shot is the one in a 1-point game, mind you. They're just so discombobulated. I think the Wings are a year away. They're a nice team, Gabe, but listen, we'll be betting WNBA postseason. I don't look at Dallas as a real threat here to the hierarchy of this league.
No, but at the same point in time, they weren't supposed to be. I mean, we're talking about a team that literally was the worst team in the league. Had the number 1 pick in the draft, right? They literally they had the number 1 pick in the draft. So here we are right now. They've exceeded expectations. We'll see if that was a learning experience for them. Their coach said after the fact that it's easy. Everybody has an opinion after the game of what they could have and should have done. But no, I don't think that they're legitimate title contenders. Yeah. Right? They're a mid-tier team.
I do appreciate that from the coach, though. Everyone's got an opinion. Yeah, the opinion was call a timeout instead of running around for 15 seconds. Okay, maybe you don't want to call the timeout right away, but when they look lost for 7 seconds and there's still another 8 to go, call a timeout, man.
Though,
it's not that everybody has an opinion. Come on, dude.
Well, coaches don't like to admit they're wrong ever, right? Or they made a mistake. But
it's just such a great line, right? It's everybody's got an opinion. It's no. Everyone has one opinion. You could have called the timeout, buddy. It's not that complicated.
But one thing about the WNBA is they used to complain they didn't get enough attention But now if you criticize them after, they don't like that attention either.
Well,
right? They don't like that attention. Then you're being negative towards them, right? It's like there's sort of this double standard. And Sophia Cunningham started a firestorm earlier in the week and then didn't face the media after the game, right? And Caitlin Clark doesn't face the media after the game. One of the Seattle co-owners just got suspended. Like, dude, they're more like, it's the most dysfunctional league in the world, Kevin. Like, let's just call it out for what it is. Like, on a daily basis of, like, nobody on the same page. Like, clicks in the room, clicks with players, clicks with owners, clicks with fans. Like, it's just a constant daily, like, oh, God, like a new scandal or new sort of story to deal with. And the commissioner doesn't know how to deal with it. She's not a commissioner. She's not a sports, like, woman. She has zero experience in sports. She's like a real estate lawyer type thing. Like, she's like a businesswoman that climbed a ladder in the business world and ended up in this job because it pays well, but she doesn't know anything about basketball or sport, really, right? So, like, that's why she's so robotic and out of touch. It's a fun league on the court, and some of the drama leads to, like, fun games and stuff like that, but it's just comical how they daily have a problem. But it's the one thing we talked about, though, Kevin, like with a team like the Tempo, when they're down or they're in a spot, they just, get the ball to Mabry and she shoots the three, right? Dallas are still figuring that out. And I'm all LeBron'd out, but we'll get to that point with Philadelphia where they figure it out. All right, by the way, who has the ball in the last 15 seconds of a tie game? Whose shot is this? Because that's something that they're going to have to figure out.
I got to tell you, though, it maybe no bigger controversy more blown out in the history of sports than when we worry about a really good team who's going to have the ball. You know what their plan is, Gabe? Already be winning. That's their plan. For the game to not be tied. That's their plan, Gabe.
The road to hell was paved with good intentions, all right?
Back right here on SportsGrid in-game live. Kevin Walsh, Gabe Morency. I appreciate Gabe saying he's LeBron'd out. You would think that a lot of these people after 23 years would be LeBron'd out, and yet they are, I mean, they just run at the opportunity to be like, you know what? LeBron joining the Sixers means a chance to change the GOAT debate. Guys, let me tell you this right now. Sixers win the title. Do you want to know what will not happen the day after? Someone like Gabe coming on here and being like, I got to tell you, Kev, after all these years, you were right. LeBron is better than Michael. That is not going to happen.
No.
Is that going to happen, Gabe? Okay.
No.
Okay.
That's not going to happen. No.
Okay. I can't believe we're still doing it. I can't believe we're still pretending as if people who believe it's Michael are evaluating the situation. Their mind was made up, guys, 15 years ago. 15. I'm not exaggerating that, by the way.
I personally don't think Philadelphia are going to win the championship, but listen, if they do, then, we're going to hear about it for another 10 years after the fact. It would be the incredible accomplishment, right? The fourth team. Nobody can deny that. But no, I'm more concerned right now with the slow start here from the Mecca. And I tell you what, Davis Steele have just been better so far. They're hitting shots from the outside. They're taking it to the rack. They're just sort of a step closer. And the Mecca sort of got caught up a little bit in pushing and shoving, and they're getting mad type stuff, right? Yeah. It's too early in the game to be getting mad, guys, right? So they're sort of getting mad while Davis Steele are kind of just sort of playing basketball right now. 21-12 after the first quarter. 9-minute quarters should be noted. 4 9-minute quarters, not 10 or 12. So they're off to a great start. New updated number right now, guys. The Mecca are plus 8.5. I wouldn't write them off just yet. And the total is 141.5 right now, which I think is a fair number. Yet I would expect this to be pretty much a slugfest, Kevin, and not a track meet. Even though last night's game did squeeze over the number barely. It was a low number, right? A 138.5, so they got to 143.
But also, as someone who, again, I caught the whole fourth quarter of that game, certainly, it was a dead under. Kentucky couldn't close the game. It took them ages to hit the target score, allowing Kansas to push that game over the number.
That's why I don't panic when I'm down points a little bit. Sometimes, I'm telling you, the team that is
the 20-point blowout was great for you, from a total perspective.
The teams
Kentucky were doing nothing.
The teams that are up, for whatever reason, they hit the wall all the time. Yeah, it happened the other night with Davis Steele. They ended up winning 65-63. They were up big. Same thing, it was first to 64, and I don't know, they were up 58 to 44 or something stupid like that. It was really low scoring, and next thing you know, it's wow, it's 60-57 right now. Oh my God, it's 61-60 right now. And in fact, it got all the way down to the fact that the other team could have won if they scored. They missed the layup. And then Davis Steele took it down the court and hit a shot, and it was finally the game was over. But, yeah, you see teams hit the wall. Listen, whoever wins tonight is going to be getting a lot of points, Kevin. I don't know, when I say a lot, I mean, this isn't the NBA, so it's not like the Washington Wizards on the road. We're not getting 21 and a half. But, you know what I'm saying? It's at Kentucky. What's the public going to do? The public's going to hammer Kentucky. The minimal public that's betting this, okay? A couple of my followers on Twitter and a couple of people that are in a YouTube chat room watching this game right now. How many viewers do they have on YouTube? The game's on YouTube. 113 people.
There you go.
It is on FS1 as well. But the championship game will be on Fox. So national television. They're going to promote the hell out of it on Fox Sports all weekend and Fox with the basketball tomorrow, Kentucky. Everyone's going to go, Kentucky, and it's in Kentucky. They're not going to know who these other guys are.
It's worked out well for them. The
You're
alumni
probably
bracket was a very good way to go about things.
They're playing into it more than they have been in the past. Like before, dude, they used to put just the team names up. Last night it said Kansas alumni, Kentucky alumni.
Yep.
Instead of La Familia versus JHX.
Yeah, because what is that? Right? What is that? Like,
because people won't know if they're clicking around.
Right.
They'll be like,
we
I
know
don't
what it
know.
is, but 100%. I do think we're close up against the break here. There is a Sunderland Leeds game that is right around the corner. We're going to get to that as well. So quick break. It's in-game live on SportsGrid.
I'd be looking to sell Louis Varland at this point just because his success has been great, but I'm also worried about how many more opportunities he's going to have given the dynamic of where the Blue Jays sit in the standings. You know, we've heard some rumors that they may be wanting to trade Jeff Hoffman, and it could open up a lot of opportunities for Louis Varland, but there's also nothing pushing the Blue Jays to continuously have out a great player when they're fighting for nothing when it's all said and done.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Philly had issues elsewhere last year that were on full display in the playoff game against the Niners. They couldn't move the ball all game, and then they got in a 2-minute hurry-up drill, and they walked right down the field. Guys, Tom Brady would do Eagle games. Every single week he'd go, gosh, if they do some hurry-up. And then immediately they'd do some hurry-up, 2-minute warning, and they'd look like a completely different football team.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Okay, guys, quickly, because this is going to get underway. Leeds United, Sunderland. Yesterday, again, I was wrong with the All-Star game. I should have known better. It is what it is. It's fine.
Oh, it's a fun game. 4-3 final.
I should have. Oh, did they sneak another one in? I actually didn't even know they snuck another one in. That's correct. I should have just bet the MLS. It is what it is. But couldn't have been more right about Wrexham Liverpool. That game was scoreless through 80 minutes. I think that's
1-0 final.
The total tonight a little bit with Leeds and Sunderland. These two teams played 5-goal games and 6-goal games in their first friendlies in this little, English soccer summer series they're doing. I played a 2.5 at -132 here, Gabe. I think almost like books are adjusting to some of these friendly unders. I think this is a kind of good spot then to buy the over here between Leeds and Sunderland. They're playing this one in New Jersey, actually.
It's a weird matchup, though, isn't it? Like, Wrexham, I understand. You know what I mean? Just because of the marketing power and the TV show. And this seems like it's a strange series that they have going on. I don't dislike the play. I would not be playing the under in this game. We talked about Benfica last week losing to St. Gallen, and we said, yeah, we got to circle this game this week. And we did. We posted it online earlier in the morning. Benfica ends up rolling to a 3-0 victory. But for me right now, my soccer action that I have, the CONCACAF Under-20 Championships. So this is the real deal, CONCACAF Under-20. You know what I mean? It sets the stage for the future generations here. I'm on a Costa Rica, Mexico, Winnipeg Blue Bomber moneyline parlay, Kevin. You want to talk about a little shake-up DGen special? Look, imagine like if I place this with a legal book, but imagine you calling a bookie with this. Yeah, listen, I want to bet on the CONCACAF under 20, and I want a moneyline parlay with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. But God bless the internet. We were able to do it. So Costa Rica's winning 3-1 right now against Antigua. Mexico's coming up. They're minus 350 favorites. I think they're going to win. I think it's decent parlay material. USA play tomorrow night, so we can hit the U.S. game tomorrow night.
Look, let's we can hit these multiple times, right? Look, people are popping in and out. It's great to be with all of you here on this Thursday night. There's a CFL game, and I'm finally betting one of these CFL games. And I've said this many times. I don't not bet it because I have something against the CFL. That's ridiculous. And I don't not bet it because I hear Gabe's analysis and I'm like, nah, he's not convincing me. Instead, I have a piece of my brain that can't help myself. Every game's flying over. That usually means I want to run in and bet an under. So if I tell you guys I'm finally betting this game here tonight, you would probably think, oh, he finally stepped up for an under. No, it's that I now feel like we have a zag spot to the over. After BC and their offense were in shambles and nearly chased Gabe out of a stadium, and they're on a backup quarterback here, I'm on the over, Gabe, 52.5. If, though, wow. I got to tell you this, it would be an all-time moment. If this is the CFL game you give out under, I might have to cash out and just retire from this league. That would be remarkable. Oh, come on.
It is.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It literally
is. It's not.
It literally is.
You can't make this up. You can't make this up.
But I just can't do it. Right? I can't. I hate betting unders. So what I did is I put the under in the same game parlay, though. So I have Winnipeg to win the game under 62.5 at minus 145. Bombers to win the game under 62.5. We could both win, but that's the way I'm looking at it. Yet I'm not sure we even get to 53 in this game. I don't have a lot of confidence in Salter. I could be proven wrong. Number one, quarterbacks that make their first start in the CFL always get killed. Like, it never works out well for them. Yeah, he came in late and he ran around a little bit last week, but now, it's a short week. You're playing a pissed-off Winnipeg and an angry Winnipeg Blue Bomber football team that blew the game last week. They're going to be in a really bad mood tonight. You watch Salter play, right? Let's be real, guys.
I like Caden Salter.
Salter at Liberty, they won a lot of football games. I took their season total, and I bet like $2,000 on it. So I watched every game. I was so very involved. They didn't win because of him. They had a star running back, right? Like, they didn't really throw the ball out on much Liberty, actually. And then Salter, ends up with the Colorado Buffaloes and loses the job to like one of the walk-on, Rudy types that had been there for 10 years, right? And it didn't end well for him. So look, guys, tonight, and not to mention, you look at Salter, I don't want to be a jerk here, but the last 6 games that he has started, he's won once. All right, he lost to Kansas State. He lost to Arizona. He lost to Utah. He struggled throwing the football as well. Like, his passing yard prop tonight, guys, is 233.5. He threw more than 233.5 passing yards last year with the Colorado Buffaloes once. Like, he had problems. Like, he struggled against the Arizona Wildcats. Now you're going to beat the Winnipeg Blue Bombers tonight? Last week, they started Chase Bryce. Former Clemson Tiger, didn't play much, he played a bit, ended up at App State, where he did play, right? Okay, he's been in the CFL for like 3 years as a backup. Couldn't score a touchdown, right? The BC Lions, it's not just the quarterbacks. Like, the Lions coaching, the play calling is bad. I just don't see it. And, of course, like, almost like you say, I'm scared. It's going to blow up in my face, and I bet the Lions all the time, and here I am saying that they're not going to move the ball. It's going to go under, and Winnipeg are going to cover. And watch Caden Salter light it the F up tonight, Kevin. Right? So I have that little fear, but I don't think he can. I don't think he will. And the BC Lions, they have 6 new starters in their lineup tonight. Like, they're 1-5. The wheels have fallen off. They're kind of panicking right now. I would have went back to Bryce again, even though he was bad last week. At least he's been on the team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's been on the team.
I can't believe this. I truly cannot. I was almost going to say, you know what? I'll wait and make sure
it's like a 31-13. 31-13.
This is
34-16. Something like that.
I can't believe it, guys.
I could be wrong.
It's not the point. It's not.
I not often am in the CFL, though, I'll say.
Gabe, it's not even about. It's not. It's about you bet every game in this league, and every week I'm like, look, here comes a great breakdown. I'm gonna leave it alone, but listen, guys, here it is. And I jumped the gun.
Know I'm tagged. You know I'm taking it over all the time when I'm in these CFL games.
That's what I'm saying. Last week, you tweeted out, I don't even think you realize you do this sometimes. You tweeted out, hey guys, warning, BC are starting a backup quarterback. There won't be 1,000,000 points. Next tweet, I am on the over. I am on BC. I am on 4 guys to score a touchdown. You don't even care about your own warning. I bet this over. You go, nope, this is the under, guys. This is the under. I can't even believe that.
I believed that somehow, you know what, they could get there because it was low, right? I was like, I didn't anticipate BC not scoring a touchdown. They weren't not going to score a touchdown, which they didn't. It's hard not to score a touchdown in the CFL. They kicked 4 field
teams
goals.
To score 20?
I'm not doing it tonight. Not doing it tonight. I'm not sure if BC get to 20.
What's the price? God, are you kidding me? You bet it every game. -170, -180.
Tomorrow the total's 60.5, and I'm not sure it gets there.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I've got you can't just I can't just do the same thing all the time over and over. Like, I mean, something you got to shake it up.
Something happened. They finally wrote me into one of these overs, and Gabe goes, "No.
No. Tonight's the under. Yeah, tonight's the under.
Under.
Like I said, I love Salter under 233.5 passing yards. If you can get this bet in, look it up. Love that.
There's no way he's not betting this. I need another opinion now.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll see what he says online here.
Someone calling minutes. We'll be right back.
I'd be looking to sell Louis Varland at this point just because his success has been great, but I'm also worried about how many more opportunities he's going to have given the dynamic of where the Blue Jays sit in the standings. We've heard some rumors that they may be wanting to trade Jeff Hoffman, and it could open up a lot of opportunities for Louis Varland, but there's also nothing pushing the Blue Jays to continuously have out a great player when they're fighting for nothing when it's all said and done.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
The dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions only on SportsGrid.
Philly had issues elsewhere last year that were on full display in the playoff game against the Niners. They couldn't move the ball all game, and then they got in a 2-minute hurry-up drill, and they walked right down the field. Guys, Tom Brady would do Eagle games. Every single week he'd go, gosh, if they do some hurry-up. And then immediately they'd do some hurry-up, 2-minute warning, and they'd look like a completely different football team.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, back with you right here on Sports Grid. I'm now scrolling the BC Lions Twitter page, and it's just roping me in more and more. Caden Salters.
Don't do it. That's what happened to me last week. I know. That's why I left the house saying there won't be a lot of points. And after a couple of drinks and the train ride to the stadium, Kevin, I tweeted, yeah, BC money line. I walked in. I'm telling you, it's the nice white jerseys they're wearing, too. You see he's looking slick there, warming up right now. You see?
Here's the other thing.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, actually. Yeah.
we had on this show. Gabe and I used to just pull up the Wizards' Twitter to see who they were using for their graphics, right? Lose by 35, like Will Riley's on the graphic, like what I deserve. But here's my thing. BC putting Caden Salter on the game day Twitter graphic, I like that. That shows confidence in the backup quarterback. Like, they could have put the running back, they could have put the receiver, but no, they put Salter. Like, it's almost like they're selling Salter here. I think they want him to take the job over, Gabe.
Well, they have a star quarter. They have the highest paid quarterback in the league, actually. Yeah,
they might be done with him.
I said this, Nate Rourke, and I said the same thing last week. I said they made a mistake in letting Vernon Adams go. And I got attacked by Lion fans pretty good, calling me an idiot and stuff. But, you know, the Vernon Adams, who I speak of, has 18 touchdowns and 0 interceptions, just set a CFL record. Like, no quarterback in the CFL. Good. Yeah, it's just saying. And Nate Rourke's hurt all the time. And makes twice as much money as Vernon Adams. But that's besides the point. But, you know, Caden Salter is cousins with Casey Printers. And Casey Printer is former TCU quarterback, TCU Horned Frog. Very good. Yeah. He was good at TCU. He ended up in the CFL. And the CFL didn't have a salary cap before. And he was making like $1 million at one point. Like, he was good. He won the most valuable player of the league, and he was wrecking the league up. But he was so good, he wanted to go to the NFL. And he did. So he goes to the Kansas City Chiefs, and they had, Brock Heward, and they drafted A.J. Croyle that year out of Alabama. Kid with the bowl haircut. Terrible quarterback. Like, it was like one of the worst draft picks in the history of football. Yeah, he had that Alabama bowl. You know what I mean? It was like, guys, you really think this guy, an NFL quarterback? Garcia with the home run, just for the record, baseball.
I love this team. I had to be honest with you, Gabe. I am reading this Twitter account now.
The Lions, they're hooking you, right? Yeah.
Gabe, the anything can happen tweet, one of the first comments is, that quote doesn't really scream confidence, guys. Someone asked if Printers available.
Can you imagine if the Eagles did this today? Like, the Eagles before a game? Hey, anything can happen. It's like, guys, you're only 7.5-point underdogs, eh? Like, you're not like we're not an FCS team playing Tennessee. Like, you're a pro team, Kevin. I swear to God, I told Kevin during the break, I laughed out loud too when I saw that. I was like, anything can happen. I was like, are we at that point now? Like, really? Anything can happen.
I don't know how I feel about this. I really don't. There's one guy who's like replying.
I know the guy that runs the
tweet.
Twitter account too, so I can't like.
I do. A great job. He's getting me involved. Yeah, he's doing a great job. I love this, man. Oh, wow. The best is I'm not even betting BC. I'm just betting the over, but obviously, like, BC have to be involved. Like, I have to be careful. Like, I'm getting roped in a little bit now. Like, I almost want to. Like, you have their own fans commenting, "We're cooked. Love the Bombers by 20." Like, everyone's real worried here now.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I hate going against them, but money's money. Money's money. I can't like. Yeah, I just lost betting on them last week. Like, I can't. Yeah, you know what I mean, it's nothing personal. It is what it is, and our boy McInnes is good to go. So. Yes. Yeah. We'll get his take on this. I'll tell him we're moving in on 8 p.m. here. I'm on the West Coast, so I'll tell him. All right, 8 p.m.
Yeah,
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Sending link.
Hot start. Oh, let me see the CFL account. Maybe there could be a couple more replies to my boy Caden Salter.
Kevin, I hate to say this, how confident I was in this. When the number opened up earlier in the week, it was 5.5. I bet it. I don't usually bet the CFL on Monday mornings. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah,
No, I
whatever,
would
dude. Like,
imagine
I'll bet the line, whatever, dude. Like, it won't move that much. Like,
Yeah.
I bet it, and I thought right away, I was like, God, 5.5 is far too light. It's got to go up. And I said, to me, I think it should be 9.5. It's 8 right now at some spots. I'll see if it's hit 8 everywhere.
Yeah, I know there was a 7.5, but I know there was 8.5 as well. You'll have a better, database probably for me than just
7.5, 52.5 at a sharp CFL book right now.
Okay.
7.5, 50. So the total was 53.5, and the market faded you, Kevin. Went down to 52.5.
Well, there was one when I placed it, Gabe. There was one. Oh man, you have to see the goal in the Leeds Sunderland game. By the way, if you can find that
early
online,
goal. There you go for the over.
If you can find that online, Gabe, see
just
that
for the record
pretty
too.
Good.
The quarterback tonight for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They have 2 quarterbacks. Winnipeg, like a lot, they have 2 sort of veteran quarterbacks. Like one of them is Zach Collaros, who's been around forever. He was actually the Kelsey's quarterback at Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
You want bad luck. He was invited to the wedding. Like, he's literally one of their best friends. So he was invited to the wedding. He couldn't go to the wedding because the Winnipeg Blue Bombers were playing the same day. And he got hurt that day and has been out ever since. So not only does he miss the wedding of the century, who he's actually best friends with the guy.
Right.
Like, he said a message. It was funny that he goes, really? He goes, I thought we were buddies. He goes, you couldn't have at least looked at the Winnipeg Blue Bomber schedule, Travis and Taylor, when you did this? LOL.
Yeah,
like,
pretty good.
They responded, sorry, bro. Like, right. He was like, I can't come.
Funny.
And he ends up getting hurt. But the other guy, I don't know if you remember, Drew Brown, played at Oklahoma State, and then he transferred to Hawaii. He was pretty good at Hawaii. Really aired it out.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little wild in the CFL. Like, he throws the ball fast, but, like, all over the place. But Winnipeg are a pretty good team. It's going to be a bad spot. I look forward to McInnes' take on this game. And me and McInnes rarely agree, it seems, on CFL bets. So I'm assuming he's going to love the over and the BC Lions today.
I'll take the over, and that's what we're trying to see. I can't wait. He comes in, he goes Salter over yards. This is going to be a party.
I'd be looking to sell Louis Varland at this point just because his success has been great, but I'm also worried about how many more opportunities he's going to have given the dynamic of where the Blue Jays sit in the standings. We've heard some rumors that they may be wanting to trade Jeff Hoffman, and it could open up a lot of opportunities for Louis Varland, but there's also nothing pushing the Blue Jays to continuously have out a great player when they're fighting for nothing when it's all said and done.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
The dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Philly had issues elsewhere last year that were on full display in the playoff game against the Niners. They couldn't move the ball all game, and then they got in a 2-minute hurry-up drill, and they walked right down the field. Guys, Tom Brady would do Eagle games. Every single week he'd go, gosh, if they do some hurry-up. And then immediately they'd do some hurry-up, 2-minute warning, and they'd look like a completely different football team.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, guys, we're going to talk some CFL a little more in a little bit. We've got WNBA coming up as well, but
that's right.
I was
Temple
curious,
Lynx.
Gabe. You know, we got SEC media days now. We're running into Big Ten media days. Kirk Cignetti. It's funny, man. Cignetti loved the microphone before he did anything at Indiana. Now that they completed the
he's
rebuild,
a born heel.
I mean, but here's the crazy thing: it's when the heels get cheered, everyone hates the SEC so much they love it. They love his shtick now because he's going at the SEC.
Yeah, and you know what, Ryan Day, not a confident guy for his guy has won as many games as he has, right? He says anything, Kevin, he gets attacked, right? Like I said, they won the national championship. They lost to Michigan, and it was like they didn't really win the championship. It was this weird. Yeah. Kyle Whittingham is not a smack talker. Whittingham is going to come in his first media day in the conference, and he played he's from the Lou Holtz. You should like Kyle Whittingham. Oh, gee, shucks. I just hope we're playing competitive games this fall. That's what he said today.
Yeah.
Oh, I just hope, it's year one. It's yeah, you're saying that publicly. Trust me, dude. The boosters that paid the $38 million for our roster aren't thinking that, coach. All right? But he's playing it down. So Cignetti comes in, and for people that are unaware, he basically said the SEC is a hype machine. We earn it here. If we don't win the championship, we don't cry. We work harder. And don't think it wasn't a statement, Kevin, too, that they banded together, the Big Ten coaches this week in the schools, and they put the 3 trophies on the table. All 3. Not just one. Yeah, they told Michigan, bring your trophy. They told Ohio State, bring your trophy, right? They wanted to stick it to the SEC. Saw Laura Rutledge today saying the SEC teams are worn out because the schedule is so hard. They're already making excuses before the season's already started. Can't wait for it, though, to start here, Kevin. Oklahoma and Michigan, one of those first sort of, I think it is actually, off the top of my head. Is there another Big Ten SEC matchup? I don't think so. Texas, Ohio State, is it?
So you're saying Oklahoma, Michigan is week one, week one of the season?
It's week 2. Of the season.
So I think the Texas game is week 2 as well. I'm pretty sure.
So is it the same day? Man, you want to talk about a big day in college football?
Noon is Michigan OU and 7:30 is the Texas Ohio State game.
Wow, what a big day, huh?
Man, that's no joke.
That's the statement days for the conferences, Kevin. Whatever happens, the conference going to have to deal with the online trash.
Yeah. No, it is what it is. True.
Right away. It's a
really big
right
game.
away.
Yeah,
it's going to be tested, right? And 100%. You can't, Ohio State at Texas, Oklahoma at Michigan. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Last year they split those games. Ohio State obviously beating Texas, and OU took down Michigan. The home team won each game.
That was Bryce Underwood's first road start of his career as a barely turned 18-year-old.
Yeah.
It's payback now. Although Oklahoma are good. John Mateer is good, right? Oklahoma have a nasty defense. So Oklahoma are justifiably ranked 7th or 8th or whatever it's going to be, etc., coming into the year. But that'll determine Michigan's season, right? Michigan beat Oklahoma. It's going to be, oh, boy, watch out, right? The positivity and everything's going to be clicking. They lose the game, and, they put themselves behind the 8 ball early. Even though it's not a conference game, but as far as the playoffs are concerned.
Because OU's not a powerhouse in the SEC in the way that if Ohio State loses to Texas, and again, projections are projections, but to your point, Gabe,
but Oklahoma are heavily ranked this year. They're going to come in opening up at 6, 7, 8 type thing, right? 7.
You think they're going to be that high?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Where are they right now, national title wise? Where are they relative to the rest of the country here? OU.
I'll get the odds up.
They're just outside the top 10. Now the title odds aren't always, exactly what you see.
No, because there's so many
And book to book a change. They're tied for 9th with a couple of teams. Tied for 9th right now. So we'll see. But again, Michigan will be lower ranked than them, most likely.
Yes.
So it'll be an opportunity.
I think Michigan's going to come in like 13th or something like that.
All right, we'll put more picks on the board after the break.
I'd be looking to sell Louis Varland at this point just because his success has been great, but I'm also worried about how many more opportunities he's going to have given the dynamic of where the Blue Jays sit in the standings. You know, we've heard some rumors that they may be wanting to trade Jeff Hoffman, and it could open up a lot of opportunities for Louis Varland, but there's also nothing pushing the Blue Jays to continuously have out a great player when they're fighting for nothing when it's all said and done.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Philly had issues elsewhere last year that were on full display in the playoff game against the Niners. They couldn't move the ball all game, and then they got in a 2-minute hurry-up drill, and they walked right down the field. Guys, Tom Brady would do Eagle games. Every single week he'd go, gosh, if they do some hurry-up. And then immediately they'd do some hurry-up, 2-minute warning, and they'd look like a completely different football team.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Back with everybody here on SportsGrid. It is in-game live. Devin Walsh, Gabriel Morency. Let's get to the WNBA. 2 games about to tip off. Unfortunately for Chicago and Connecticut, not a lot of love here, understandably. I do believe Dejanay Carrington is back for the first time this season for Chicago, which is nice. They're 5.5-point favorites. We'll see what they can do. But it's the tempo and the Lynx catching a little bit more attention here. Your most recent numbers before this thing tips off, 185.5 on the total, 12.5-point spread here for the Lynx on the road. I'm on Olivia Miles, under 18.5 points as my favorite way to attack this game. What about you, Gabe?
I'm going to take the Toronto tempo plus the 12.5. I'm going to take the over 185.5. And I'm going to go with Marina Mabrey to score 20 or more points.
There we go. So some action tonight involving Marina Mabrey. We will get to Aces Liberty before we get out of here. Really fun game. Excited to watch that one play out. It always feels big when those two teams play. Like,
yeah, and I tell you,
it does.
Yeah, it's a real rivalry. You can argue it's the best rivalry in the WNBA.
I think so. Yeah.
And the Liberty have gotten the better of them. Right? The Liberty have gotten the better of them. And in fact, they're 0-2, the Aces versus the Liberty this year. But I think they get the Liberty in a good spot. I took the Liberty the other night when they were down at the half by a couple of points. And I got them at like minus 115 or something like that, minus 120. And they did end up winning the game against the Sparks. But they've been on the road. They were in L.A. Now you're rolling into Vegas, who have been at home all week, Kevin, coming off the win against Portland. And you know Vegas want this game tonight. You know they want this one against New York. Like, this is a big regular season game for the Vegas Aces tonight.
I agree with you. These teams are going to meet not too far from now, back in New York. So you kind of, not that they have their eye on it, but they'll see each other kind of in quick succession. But I will say this, Gabe, and I've talked about this. I think the Liberty have some momentum coming out of the break, but I also respect the opponent. And it's what I did in the game when they played the Sparks, and playing the team total allowed me to relax. They went over that about a minute into the fourth quarter, doing the same thing here. Like, I really think the Liberty could win this game, but I'm not focusing on that. 89.5 for the W that we're watching right now, guys. That's a great number. And I just think Enescu looks healthy, relatively speaking. Stewie looks really, really good. Jonquel Jones off the All-Star Game MVP, Gabe. It's not that I'm fading Vegas. I'm just trusting the Liberty again with a team total over 89.5.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with attacking from a team total perspective. And I'm not really ready to lay 4.5 points here. Right? I mean, they're laying 4.5. It could be a close game. The Liberty, for whatever reason, seem to own the Las Vegas Aces. The money line, and it's funny because the sports books are aware of this, and the money line's a little juiced up to minus 185 right now. It keeps climbing because a lot of people are like, yeah, I'll take the Aces, but I'll do it on the money line. And, they're a parlay piece here as well at the back end this evening. 10 o'clock Eastern tonight should be a fun, not a bad way to, end the night tonight with some late night WNBA action, which should be a fun game tonight with the Liberty and Aces.
Baseball-wise, things are really quiet right now. Nationals up 3-0 on Atlanta. That is an upset brewing here. The Mets-Marlins game, I'm not sure if they'll play tonight, but I know it's still in a delay. And then the Reds are up on the Pirates, 2-0. Ellie De La Cruz had a double. He was later on knocked in. So it's pretty quiet on the baseball board here. Like, I know we're going to get McKinnis in a little bit, so we'll re-rack the CFL there. Do you want to start to talk a little, Gabe, just to make sure we hit it? This Dodgers, Mariners, Roki Sasaki start tonight against Brian Wu and the Mariners?
Yeah, I'm glad you bring this up because Roki Sasaki's been a very polarizing, here's a home run for the Braves right now. It's a launching pad tonight. Acuna Jr. with the home run. He stops in front of the shortstop and dances a bit. No, he's going to town. He just hit it 421 feet. He's going to town right now. But it's 3-1. Washington up 3-1 on the Braves right now, bottom of the fourth. But, Sasaki's been a polarizing pitcher, made a lot of money. There's a lot of hype, him coming from Japan. And really, almost every player that's come from Japan has been pretty successful quickly, right? Yeah. And so he was kind of the exception. Struggled last year so much that they sent him down to AAA. And it was pretty funny because Dave Roberts was asked in late July, what's the future for Sasaki? And he goes, I'll be honest with you. He's getting hit in AAA right now. He goes, we got some work to do. They said, do you think he'll get called up again this year? He goes, probably not. Kevin, the Dodgers lost so many arms. A week later, he was called up. Right? And then he ended up pitching well coming out of the bullpen in the playoffs. And then the struggles again this year started right away in spring training. And then, continued through the season often. And the betting public have given up on him, basically. Yet you look at his last 3 starts in Colorado. Yeah, he gave up 3 runs, but he pitched 6 innings. That was in Colorado. He had 5 strikeouts. Then he had that nice New York trip. He went into the Bronx. 5 2/3, 5 hits, 1 run only, 5 strikeouts. It's like, all right, that was a nice start. Then he followed that up with 7 innings against the Mets with 9 strikeouts. What is the difference right now, guys? It's not his stuff. Mark Pryor, former stud pitcher, Chicago Cub pitcher, is the LA Dodgers pitching coach. They clued in. He was tipping his pitches. Hitters knew what he was going to throw. He puts his fingers quickly on the ball, like how he's going to grip the ball. Some pitchers will wait, and it's they'll do it, they'll block you out and stuff. He was getting the ball and sort of all right, he's doing a split finger here. He wasn't hiding it enough, and the Dodgers clued in that his glove was too small. So now you see he's got this big yellow glove. It's really bright yellow. He's got this big, it almost looks like it's like, like a novelty. He's wearing this massive yellow glove now. You can't see his hand. 3 starts in a row. Great stuff, Kevin. I'm banking on it being 4 in a row tonight. No Ohtani in the lineup, though, tonight, right, for the Dodgers.
Yeah, which I don't know. They give him, like, every time they give him a day off, I think they're going to give him a week off, and then he's in the lineup the very next night hitting a home run. But I'm just curious if they say, hey, listen, nothing's more important than him being healthy. Now, I actually played the Mariners tonight, and, we talk a lot of Sasaki on this show. Like, that's, that breakdown is not news to me. You had told me that in the past.
How do you feel about the total of this game?
This is the
thing. Because the Dodgers' offense is hit or miss, too. As good as the Dodgers are, it's baseball, right? So, the Dodgers do play a lot of unders.
I leaned under, but I realized that was because of Brian Wu. I think he's just going to have a nice start here tonight, Gabe. And I said, you know what? I'll take a plus price on Seattle. So it's not.
See, I leaned under. I leaned under. I see 8.5 now. It's plus 100, so I can get a 9, lay a little juice. But I look at it from the opposite. I'm like, really? All right, so you've got Wu, who is good, and the market doesn't respect Sasaki. Let's just call it off what it is.
But also, these totals this series have been really high.
I know.
Like, we've talked about it every night. 9.5s, not like there's something. I stayed away from the total because I just decided that they've been posting these for a reason here in Dodgers Mariners is almost my thought, right? Like the Dodgers offense is explosive. Seattle's offense clearly is kind of maybe got a rhythm. Cal Raleigh is picking it up a little bit right now at the plate. So that's why I stayed away from the total.
I have to go, and if there's a team, I don't pretend to know the ins and outs of every Major League Baseball team, but the Dodgers I do. And Sasaki, I do. And I have to put my money where my opinion in my mouth is that he's better than the market thinks. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I think there's actually value to the under, but it's 8.5 now, little juice to the 9 now, if you want to do the 9.
CFL on deck.
I'd be looking to sell Louis Varland at this point just because his success has been great, but I'm also worried about how many more opportunities he's going to have given the dynamic of where the Blue Jays sit in the standings. We've heard some rumors that they may be wanting to trade Jeff Hoffman, and it could open up a lot of opportunities for Louis Varland, but there's also nothing pushing the Blue Jays to continuously have out a great player when they're fighting for nothing when it's all said and done.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
The dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions only on SportsGrid.
Philly had issues elsewhere last year that were on full display in the playoff game against the Niners. They couldn't move the ball all game, and then they got in a 2-minute hurry-up drill, and they walked right down the field. Guys, Tom Brady would do Eagle games. Every single week he'd go, gosh, if they do some hurry-up. And then immediately they'd do some hurry-up, 2-minute warning, and they'd look like a completely different football team.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
I may, as a friend, tomorrow and all weekend, bet the St. Louis Cardinals. So my good buddies up north don't keep themselves up wondering what the Blue Jays are going to do to get better at the deadline. That's
I'm telling you right now,
not a wise way to spend any time. Okay, Andrew McKinnis is here.
Kevin's, we're getting to the
McKinnis.
CFL.
But come
Kevin's
on, guys.
dismissing the Blue Jays' chances. They're 5.5 out. He's like, yeah,
They're
it's
9
done. All right,
games
it's over.
under. What are we doing? What are we doing?
The American
Guys,
League
come on.
sucks. The American League sucks that hard.
Yes, it's
that
so
they
bad,
suck, and they're only 5.5 out.
Look,
Yeah.
they're at
Kevin,
the bottom of that list. Come on.
how can you be this bad, and still that close? If you
They're
listen
one
to
streak away.
Canadian
They're one
radio,
streak away. One streak away.
Canadian television would have you thinking they haven't won a game all year. That's how bad they're acting like it is, but it really isn't that bad.
Hey, listen.
No, it is that
I'm
bad,
not
guys.
saying
They're
it is pretty
14 and a half
bad.
back in their division.
It is pretty bad.
It is that bad. It is
I-
that bad.
I guess,
I
no,
just-
Kevin, what I'm
I-
saying is I would rather them be worse. I would rather it be even worse is what I'm saying. Like, I would almost rather it.
There's only so
It's
much
pretty-
worse.
Yeah, they were just in the World Series and nearly beat the Dodgers. This is pretty worse. It's bad. Yeah,
Guys, I'm sorry they're not 25 under 500 like the Angels, but it's pretty bad. I got to tell you,
Okay. My whole point during the break
we
is
don't
I told
talk to
these guys,
McKinnis
yeah.
enough.
Yeah, we're going to the CFL. Yeah, we're going to the CFL. But I just threw during the break. Vladimir Guerrero's hitting a damn home run at home this weekend. All right, and I'm jumping on the train starting tomorrow. All right, so McKinnis,
Let me.
Kevin's been leaving all these overs on the table all year in the CFL. He's like, yeah, it's too high. He wants to go contrarian, and he gets cold feet. He backs off. He goes, tonight I'm going with the over for the first time. He goes, please don't tell me you think it's a lower scoring game and you like the under. And I said, yeah. I said, I don't have a lot of confidence in Salter. I don't have a lot of confidence in the BC Lions offense right now. I'm a semi-homer. I fell for it last week. Couple of drinks, going to the game. Chase Bryce can do this. No, it's not just him. Like, they're just a bad team. They're not very good. Winnipeg have their flaws, but I think it's a long night for the BC Lions tonight. What's your opinion? What's your pick, McKinnis?
Well, I was happy to hear, Gabe, before I came on when you were saying, because it's always more fun to be on your side than against you. And you said, hey, they weren't even that good with Rourke in the first place, right? And then now you got a second string and then a third stringer. Let's call it for what it is here, because I've had BC Lion fans come at me on Twitter, too. This guy can be the best guy in the community. Oh, the best captain, the best community member, whatever it is.
They think he's Joe Burrow. And I come across like, oh, you hate him. No, he's a nice guy. I just say they kill me because I say they should have kept Vernon Adams instead. But hey, whatever.
But Gabe, they think he is who Davis Alexander is, but he's Canadian. And let's call a spade a spade. Me and you are Canadian. They want Nate Rourke to be the guy because he's Canadian. That's just a fact, right? If he was American, he wouldn't be getting nearly as much hype as he does. That's just a fact. But look, I'm going to sit here and say this. The drop-off, if we've learned one thing this year in the CFL, it's that the drop-off from QB1 to QB2 is massive. And I'm not going to sit here and say we haven't watched a Thursday night football game in the middle of the winter with the NFL where the backup quarterback hasn't sucked too. So it's not just this league. But I'm telling you guys, it's like a 7, 8, 9 point swing. Last week, the bookmakers had no idea what the hell to do. Plus 3.5 on the Lions. They might as well have not even showed up to that game against the Argos. That's how bad they were. They had a backup quarterback last a game and a half before losing his job, so he's probably done. Now they're on QB3. I'm not going to come on here and say I know everything about Caden Salter. What I am going to say is these backups, they all suck, and they all come into the game, and their first game goes under the total. So I'm on the under 54.5, 53.5, whatever it is. I'm on the under here. And if you don't like the full game under, Kevin, take the first half under and then get on a live over. Because I'm telling you, this game's going to start slow. And Drew Brown is coming off the worst game of the season. 1 touchdown pass, 4 interceptions last week against Calgary. This game. Then the one thing that works well for you, Kevin, I will say, though, which is kind of funny. It's been like the opposite of the NFL. These weeks have been starting off with bangs and slowly going under. Like Sunday Night Football in the CFL is on kind of an under streak right now. And
Sunday night's the under
going
game.
over. So, but it sometimes for all of us that follow the game so closely in bets, we almost sometimes overthink. I'm not overthinking anymore. Fade and go against these and go under with these backup QBs. It's just a huge drop-off. It's a huge drop-off.
Here's first of all,
I love the under 233.5 passing yards tonight for Salter. How the hell is he getting at 234 passing yards? But sorry, Kevin, go on.
Well, hold on a second now. First of all, let's give him some credit, all right? I love the Toronto Argonauts. They follow me on Twitter, all right? So anyone who can throw for, they really do. No, they were doing like a follow.
I don't think they follow me.
And I got in there.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was just saying, I don't think they follow me.
I got in there. I always I check it like once a month.
Unfortunately, the BC Lions do, and they see all my negative tweets now.
But Gabe's going to get unfollowed.
I can, and this is, and I'm not acting like I was sitting here watching everything. That would be ridiculous. Here's what I can tell, though. Caden Salter can't be worse than Chase Bryce. He came into the game against Toronto and was better than Chase Bryce. So, also, all these games have 1 million points. Winnipeg gave up 52 last week. I don't care if Calgary has Josh Allen on their team. Like, I haven't heard. This is like, I tried to get Gabe to bet I don't even remember what sport it was, and I completely left out like a really important blowout. It was a WNBA game. I was like, Gabe, I really like this over. The game prior had like 130 points in it, and it was the same teams. I didn't leave that out. Like, nobody here has mentioned Winnipeg gave up 52 points last week. I've noticed that.
Yeah, but Winnipeg will tell you that Calgary offense has scored 30 or more points in every game this year.
Yeah, lethal. Like Winnipeg's not playing Calgary. Like that, Kevin, that would be like you saying 24? They're coming off a game by giving up a ton of points, but they just played the Buffalo Bills. They just played they're not the playing, over.
52. The over of the week, Andrew and Kat. Yeah, I don't know if you agree. Tomorrow, 60.5 of Montreal and Ottawa. I'm not sure about that. It's a lot of points. Montreal could kill them. Calgary and Hamilton, Saturday, 59.5. That's the over, McKinnis. What do you think?
If there's one game I'm going to be
contrarian. Oh, yeah, you hate Trey Ford. I forgot. You're an anti-Trey Ford guy.
No.
We got a debate. We got a debate.
Hamilton's defense has been their best skill. Hamilton's defense has been their best skill.
I'd be looking to sell Louis Varland at this point just because his success has been great, but I'm also worried about how many more opportunities he's going to have given the dynamic of where the Blue Jays sit in the standings. We've heard some rumors that they may be wanting to trade Jeff Hoffman, and it could open up a lot of opportunities for Louis Varland, but there's also nothing pushing the Blue Jays to continuously have out a great player when they're fighting for nothing when it's all said and done.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
The dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions only on SportsGrid.
Philly had issues elsewhere last year that were on full display in the playoff game against the Niners. They couldn't move the ball all game, and then they got in a 2-minute hurry-up drill, and they walked right down the field. Guys, Tom Brady would do Eagle games. Every single week he'd go, gosh, if they do some hurry-up. And then immediately they'd do some hurry-up, 2-minute warning, and they'd look like a completely different football team.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
we're back here on SportsGrid. I think our guy McInnes is still here. Listen, I don't. At the end of the day, instead of
countdown to
Gabe just throwing
kickoff
CFL games at me. Well, hold on, McInnes. You bet any props in this game? Here's the problem, and this is why, like I said, I'm not here to fade anybody in the CFL. That would be ridiculous. But you guys are making me want to bet to salt their passing yards, partly because it's funny. I won't lie. Like was it Nate Hinton? There was an LSU wide receiver who started a bowl game one year, and they threw a trick reverse play with like 1 second to go down 30. It was one of my favorite moments of like betting ever. Like, if Salter's going to be this bad, I almost want to bet the yards, and that'll rope me in. The problem is, though, Gabe always tells me when these games are on here in the States, and I think I need like CFL Plus in order to bet this.
Yeah, but you don't need anything. No, you just got to go to the way. It's just a website. You just got to give me your email. You just sort of register, log in. It's free.
Oh, it's not like it's free?
Yeah.
That's no problem.
I'll send you the link.
Props,
I'll make it easy for you here.
I got the website up. No, I can handle it then.
Yeah, CFL Plus. You'll see. Look at the game. You'll see the game. You just click the game. They'll ask for your email, and you're in.
So we're set up.
I think Keon Hatcher is probably a prop I'd look at. Like, again, if we're going to hate on the quarterback, but someone's got to catch some balls tonight. He's not going to go 0 for 35 on the passing attempts. I think Keon Hatcher is going to be the guy because he's the one that's kind of the Mr. Reliable. Justin McGinnis, I should have worn his jersey for the
where's
your
jersey?
With you guys. Yeah. The thing is with McGinnis is that
you look like you broke out of jail. Like you just do an Alcatraz tour.
I'm reffing the game tonight. I gotta go. I'm reffing tonight. I gotta go. Hey, Gabe, you gotta give me props. You gave me 10-minute notice.
I love you. I'm just kidding. No, you're the man, bro. I'm just kidding.
Hey, Gabe looks like he's the offensive coordinator tonight. Look, he's got the golf.
I know. I'm more of a special teams coach. Yeah, I'm not. I'm lower on the totem pole. I'm the crazy special teams coach. All right, guys,
I'm the referee, and Gabe's coaching.
Oh, that did get me good. I'll be honest. That did get me good. Oh, man.
So under for me, and I got Keon Hatcher over 64.5. Might sound crazy, but someone's got to catch some ball.
I'll throw it out here, and McKinnon's going to agree or disagree, but I'm going with Charles Oliveira. Dude, the Condell, the offensive coordinator of the Bombers, been called out by everybody. You don't run the ball enough. Drew Brown's not that great. You throw the ball 55 times a game. And you have one of the best running backs in the CFL. And finally, Brady Oliveira came out last week, Andrew, and said, I don't know what the hell we're doing with our offense. I don't know. Ask the coach. How can you get the ball more? Ask Tommy.
Oh, I don't like that.
They're getting them the ball tonight. They're getting them the ball tonight. Yeah.
He goes, it kind of feels like we don't have an identity.
He was the MVP last year, this guy that's pitching, bro. He's like a star. He's getting the ball tonight. And his prop is 62.5. It's always like 80.5. It's 62.5 because he hasn't been getting the ball. Tonight's the night he gets the ball.
I will throw this in.
And he scores a touchdown.
2025, BC number 1 rushing defense. 2026, BC number 1 rushing defense. But I think that's why we're getting a discount. To your point, I like what you said, Gabe, but I do like your bet, and I think the books are aware of how good they've been against the run, so they're setting this low. If he gets
well, you know what it is, too? It's a little deceptive. Yeah, they've been deep. You're right. They've been deep. You know what? They've shut Rankin down. You're right. They have been good against run.
Twice.
Yeah, but because it's easy to throw on them. Quarterbacks are all throwing for 350, 400 on them.
Yeah.
Right? So
this is insane.
I'll tell you the player prop of the weekend. If you want a player prop for this weekend, it's Jake Mayer tomorrow because Montreal is not the same Montreal they used to be. They let teams hang around. The only time they've beat a team by more than 7 points all year this year was last week, and it was the most probably top 3 backdoor covers I've seen in my entire lifetime.
Never in doubt.
This last 5 games, this guy's averaging more than 300 passing yards. You can get at some shops 287, 289. Look, this is the best part. I was debating, guys, do I take the Red Blacks or do I take this prop? And I was like, forget about taking the Red Blacks because if they even have close chance to covering, he'll probably go over this number. You know, Kevin, people always think when you back a player prop, you think that guy's team's going to win. But it's like when I used to take player props on Zach Wilson with the Jets. They're not going to win, but he might have to throw the ball, you know?
Yeah. No, I got it. This Brady Oliveira breakdown, I mean, again, guys, I'm not sitting here pretending. I'm like, no, I don't know what's going on. The guy
he scored
the league
a touchdown.
MVP. The guy was the league MVP. We're getting a 60-some-odd number and he's complaining about getting the ball. Guys,
Yeah.
if this was the NFL,
And the
there isn't a
fans are
single
complaining,
person
not
alive
just
who wouldn't
him.
be on it.
Yeah,
Not just him.
complaining.
The
No.
fans are
You got
complaining
me
that
in.
he doesn't get the
After
ball.
all this game, you finally did it. Brady Oliveira, here I
Over.
come.
62
I am
and a half.
sold.
Well, the
I'm line
OC did the
shopping.
same thing in Hamilton.
I gotta.
I'd be looking to sell Louis Varland at this point just because his success has been great, but I'm also worried about how many more opportunities he's going to have given the dynamic of where the Blue Jays sit in the standings. You know, we've heard some rumors that they may be wanting to trade Jeff Hoffman, and it could open up a lot of opportunities for Louis Varland, but there's also nothing pushing the Blue Jays to continuously have out a great player when they're fighting for nothing when it's all said and done.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Philly had issues elsewhere last year that were on full display in the playoff game against the Niners. They couldn't move the ball all game, and then they got in a 2-minute hurry-up drill, and they walked right down the field. Guys, Tom Brady would do Eagle games. Every single week he'd go, gosh, if they do some hurry-up. And then immediately they'd do some hurry-up, 2-minute warning, and they'd look like a completely different football team.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Not even doing a bit here.
I'm
not doing a bit.
Kevin.
I just signed up. I don't
What,
know
what,
if
for
I like
CFL
it. They
Plus?
asked me for my I don't know if I like.
I
it.
just
They
heard
asked
in
me
the
for my
background.
postal
I
code.
heard the audio. Welcome to CFL Plus. Even I just heard it.
Yeah. Oh, so that's no joke. So we're in now. But also, they asked me for my favorite team. I had to put the Argos.
Oh, that's your, yeah. So that's the natural team, hey? You're
Yeah,
Chad
those are my
Kelly guy.
guys.
Yeah, Chad Kelly.
Perfect.
They are
Perfect.
good,
I
the
actually know who
Argos.
he is. I know who he is.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
that's
know who
great.
every
Now
quarterback is, pretty much, in this league.
this
Like
is
I
good.
said.
Now,
Like
when
the
do we
Drew Brown
kick off?
tonight played at Hawaii and Oklahoma State.
What kind of schedule do
Cade-
we work on here?
Caden Salter.
No?
Caden Salter played at Colorado last year, played for Liberty, was on a really good Liberty team. Pretty much every quarterback has played. There's a few like sort of the Sacramento State type guys and stuff like that too. Right. Like our boy. So, but for the record, the TBT guys coming down to the wire again.
Oh,
Man,
is
this
it?
tournament's good. 63-62, Davis Steele, 4 minutes left.
Wow.
We're seconds away from the target score. At the the first whistle after the 4-minute break, we go to the target score. So $2
What was the
million.
total?
The total was 145.5.
So
I don't know if it's going to get there.
it doesn't seem it, right? They'll be like,
And
just
guys, I'll
under
tell
it.
you guys right now, too, they're going to beat the crap out of each other in this target score thing. A 1-point game, Kevin, going into the target score. Like
It is
Like,
setting
it's
up
just
for
gonna-
Kentucky pretty well, huh? Like, I know it's all, it's all, it's easier said than done, but
Target score 71. So it can't get there. All right, let's see what the book did, because the other day they didn't figure out the math on this. Sorry, Andrew. Let me just
it shouldn't be posted. While he checks that, McKinnis, are you betting anything tonight outside of the CFL or anything? You're just kind of getting ready for future season here. What's the story?
I've got the Mets on my screen over here. I'm cheering for the Mets right now, and nothing pisses anybody off more than a weather delay, Kevin. So that was tough. You do your research, you do your prep, and of course you got a delay. I didn't even think the weather was going to be too bad there for them, but that's how it rolls with baseball. So I got the Mets. Earlier today, I had the Tigers or the White Sox first 5, 0-0 through 5. So I just wasted like an hour of my life for not even to win or lose. You get the push.
So this has been the best part of your day, then, you're saying? Like, there we
go. No, getting ready for, actually, you know what? It's kind of interesting. Obviously, I usually come on with you guys for either hockey or CFL, some NFL, sometimes, of course. But NHL is going to be real weird this year because they're only doing a couple preseason games, and then they're diving right into the regular season, the September 29th. So I've kind of been spending the last couple days, like, figuring out my schedule for content and my futures, because there's going to be, like,
29th?
It's not that far off, really, September 29th, yeah.
It impacts the fringe players the most. The guys trying to crack a roster, the guys trying to crack a team, because they don't get as many games in the preseason to showcase their abilities. It's going to just start just like that.
84-game season now, Kevin. They expanded the regular season.
But 2 games, they don't usually start all too different than when the NBA starts. And I don't think the NBA will start for like a month after that. So is that, or at least 3 weeks? Is there like an in-season shutdown for some tournament, though, or something?
No, it's just still going to end that way with 84 games in the playoffs.
It's because last year the players complained about the Olympics. The Olympics, the players, I watched a podcast yesterday. They said all year long they only had like 2 or 3 times the whole season where they had 2 days off in a row. Like, it was such a rarity to not just have 1 day off, but to have 2 days off. This year, 84 games, but they're going to spread that baby out. So it's going to start September 29th, 84 games. They're allowing more players on the roster now as well. More games, less preseason. Wow. More guys can travel with you in the press box. So, and more guys getting paid too these days here, guys.
And more games to bet on, right? So everybody wins. It's not our bodies.
No, but that is interesting.
Body's getting worn down.
But because you know this, obviously, you know this real, but Gabe, how people are trying to figure out how the NBA can figure out their schedule for guys to stay healthier, right? It's a big problem in the NBA. Everybody knows it. People try and blame all the players, like guys, like
no, they bring it upon themselves with the scheduling. I don't know why the NBA does as many back-to-backs as they do.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm just like, I don't think it's what people want, for the record. Like, I don't think the fix NBA fans want is to start the season a month earlier. But it'll be interesting to see what the results are for the NHL. If injuries
and they want less games, but it's never going to happen because it's lost revenue. So they're not going to do less games.
Right.
So that's my whole thing with the NBA. I've always said that. It's not just the players, it's the teams, and it's the league for scheduling. It's ridiculous. The schedule, like so many back-to-back games, what do you expect? And it'll be interesting. Like, everybody wants more, right? They went for 48 teams in the World Cup. Now the next one, they want 64 teams in the next World Cup now. College football, more.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody knows it's just more. It's the direction we're going, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I think the best way to prevent load management is to have a competitive league. Like, I hate load management. As a hockey fan, I see a player go out there and snap their leg and they play the next shift. LeBron is a hangnail and, he's not playing for 2.5 years. But I think the difference is if he goes in to play the Washington Wizards one night and they're minus 22.5 on the spread, why can I blame him for not playing? You know what I mean? Like, how do you prevent load management? Make every game competitive, because in the NHL, players are going to want to sit if they're playing the Capitals one night, the Hurricanes one night, the Leafs one night, the Lightning one night. Every team is competitive in the conference.
And I wanted to bring this up too, just quickly with this. The NFL, they want to go to 18 games, and they're going to. It's not want to. They're going to 18 games. Yeah, it's going to load management. It's going to come to the NFL, Kevin. right? Teams going to be locked up. They're going to have their division locked up by week 13, week 14. And they'll be like, why are we going to play Jalen Hurts for the next month? You know what I mean? We're not going to get him hurt. And the fans are going to end up getting robbed. Like, more doesn't equal a better product. That's the problem these leagues and teams don't understand. Like, the more, it's already too much as it is.
But it
hurts the product.
There are avenues where fans ask for more, like a bigger college football playoff format. They are not asking for more NFL games. That's ridiculous. Nobody asked for that.
And nobody asked for more NHL games. Not one.
No.
Even Andrew, who loves the NHL. Said, we need an extra 2 more.
Right. But I'm just saying, Andrew, like, listen, I know people have a different viewpoint on it, and that's fine, but roll through an NBA injury report, and yes, there are guys who are sitting back-to-backs. There are also, like, Steph Curry missed a month and a half, not for load management, they missed the playoffs. Steph Curry can't stay healthy. That's bad for the NBA. It's bad for Steph. It's bad for the Warriors, and they don't do anything. Like, at least the NHL said, guys, you want more rest? We're getting 2 games. And we're getting a longer season now, right? So, we're in the ecosystem a little bit more. That's a real trade-off, at least to my eye, where the NBA just barrels ahead and everybody gets mad at the players and nobody realizes, like, guys, Kevin Durant is 40, of course, hurt.
Yeah. But Adam Silver goes out. We're gonna have to get a study why there's so many injuries on the knees. Well, I don't know. Maybe the study is the back-to-back games. Exactly. Like, it's not that hard, Adam, to figure out. I gotta say, if I was CFL commissioner, guys, I would be like military style. When I say 8:30, I mean 8:30. We finally kicked off. Took them 8 minutes to do it, though. They already have a 30-minute pregame show. Like, we don't need more talk. Like, get to the damn game. BC get the ball first. Here it is. His first play. These BC jerseys. Oh, the jerseys are crisp, huh?
Salter comes through here. I don't know. I might have to go to CFL.
I got to tell you, I was at the stadium, Kevin. I'm like, man, the team pissed me off, but I want to buy that jersey still.
I'd be looking to sell Louis Varland at this point just because his success has been great, but I'm also worried about how many more opportunities he's going to have given the dynamic of where the Blue Jays sit in the standings. You know, we've heard some rumors that they may be wanting to trade Jeff Hoffman, and it could open up a lot of opportunities for Louis Varland, but there's also nothing pushing the Blue Jays to continuously have out a great player when they're fighting for nothing when it's all said and done.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions only on SportsGrid.
Philly had issues elsewhere last year that were on full display in the playoff game against the Niners. They couldn't move the ball all game, and then they got in a 2-minute hurry-up drill, and they walked right down the field. Guys, Tom Brady would do Eagle games. Every single week he'd go, gosh, if they do some hurry-up. And then immediately they'd do some hurry-up, 2-minute warning, and they'd look like a completely different football team.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Okay, guys, just a quick update on the W. Neither Gabe or I will be happy with this. Olivia Miles has 10. Nafisa Collier has 0. Like, that's not
I didn't bet her. I didn't bet her.
Things. Oh, you left the Collier alone?
I left her out.
Oh, okay. Works out nice then. Good.
I had a lot of different bets going on, so I had to sort of prioritize.
Yeah.
I did play Mabry. I did play the 3 I talked about. I said the over, the plus the points, and with Mabry over as well. And pretty good start for Mabry, actually. She's actually usually a pretty slow starter, and I see she's got 8 points right now.
Yeah, I think she just got fouled on a 3-2, Gabe, which kind of like, that sometimes that gets someone going like her, right? You get a couple of free ones, and you start
playing to the under.
A bit of a rhythm.
In-game total right now is 175.5. That's 10 points off the pace.
See, I'm not super tempted to grab the in-game because I feel like these tempo games start hot or not, almost in a way, right? So we'll see what it is at halftime.
Yeah, they're either hot or cold. Here. It is. They don't kind of heat up during the game. I'm going to snap right now. I was going to say, like, the BC Lions. The BC Lions have played 6 games this year. I think they've scored once, like, on their first drive. They're notoriously bad on the first drive. They've actually picked up a couple of first downs on this drive. All right. They're in midfield right now, and they're going for it on 3rd and 2 here. 3 downs in the CFL, so this is it. They're going for it. They're showing a little aggression early here. Big play coming up.
Well, I've been watching. Look, they busted out a tush pushing this thing, which I know you told me was coming.
They're not going for it. They're kicking it's a 52-yard field goal attempt.
I love that. I love that decision. We either steal some points early or ball
and the kick is no good.
Perfect. Winnipeg quick points. Nothing to worry about here.
I was just going to say,
zone in a minute.
The BC kicker never misses from 45 yards in. He's like 45 years old. Like, literally, the guy's been in the league forever. And he's like money. Like, inside of 45 blindfolded. 52 is a little bit of an ask, and it got there, and it hit the crossbar. Just got there. Like,
yeah. The read on that has to be, this kid's making his start. Let's try and steal points early for confidence instead of getting shut out.
Yeah, let's try not to be playing from behind early.
Probably a bad idea, though.
But you're 3rd and 2. You have Caden Salter, Kevin. The CFL's a wider field.
Yep.
Run a little option play. Run him to the sideline. No one's going to catch him.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
And like I said, I know that your kicker's 43 years old. Everyone knows that he never missed from 45 in. That was 52. Yeah. 52. Like, I get it. Like, the coach of BC, it's just whatever he doesn't work, Kevin. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're just sort of like not – they were the second choice to win the championship coming into the year. Wasn't supposed to be this way. Yeah, wasn't supposed to be this way. They're blaming – listen, the World Cup displaced them. So they only played 1 game in Vancouver so far. But they played 2 games in at home and whatever. They ended up splitting those games. Their quarterback got hurt 2 weeks ago, but they only had 1 win even when he was playing. They have had a lot of injuries, but they weren't supposed to be this bad. Like, it's kind of a surprise, but I'm not shocked, to be honest. I know college football well, and their roster just doesn't stack up next to some of these CFL rosters, bro. Right? Some of these CFL rosters are stacked, man.
Evidence is in the numbers. Can't lie there.
Your Toronto Argonauts are a good example. Like, they just have a bunch of good your Argos, your favorite team.
That's right. That's right.
But they just have a bunch of like they have a good quarterback, Nick Arbuckle. After Kelly, they won the Grey Cup when Nick Arbuckle started. Like, their starter one is a starter. Their backup one is a starter. Arbuckle's brother, Kevin, is actually the offensive coordinator for the Oklahoma Sooners.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, why is that name super familiar? Okay.
I think it's Charles Arbuckle, whatever. Arbuckle. Yeah. Football family. It's a small football world, right?
That's true.
But they missed the field goal, so Winnipeg got the ball at the 40-yard line. There's our boy Oliveira, first touch of the game. Yeah. Money picks up 6. There you go.
Perfect. We love that. Yeah,
I like a little CFL prop action.
No, I really like what we're set up.
See, look at here's the offensive line where they played: East Carolina, Buffalo Bulls, Iowa Hawkeyes, Hawaii, and the University of Saskatchewan. They're skill position players. North Dakota, Florida State, Arizona State, Manitoba, McMaster, Manitoba. So their offensive line, because there's 42 players on a CFL roster. Mm-hmm. And you have to have 22 to 21 Canadian. You have to have one more Canadian on the roster.
Oh. That's
so like people
rule.
think like, oh, the CFL. It's not a bunch of like all Canadian guys. I just told you. I just rattle off the players. Like it's all.
Look at this. Winnipeg's going to score. I mean, Winnipeg might score 1,000 points.
You like that little nice little reverse here they ran up.
Yeah. I love what I'm seeing here.
There's Tim White.
I love them. Did you bet first touchdown? Or do they not?
No, I didn't. I didn't bet first touchdown of the game. I think it was going to end up being my boy Olivier probably. But you're right. Like
100%.
That's the problem, Kevin. You get hyped up. BC look good on the field with their uniforms, and they got some good skill position players. Like, look at this, look at this. Oh God.
Oh no, he's so far ahead of me.
All right,
it's
where
fine.
Are you at
fine.
right
it's
now?
fine. It's fine. I'll tell you right now. Let's see my clock. 26, 25, 24.
Okay, they're running the play, so they're running the play here.
Yeah. Go. Look at it. Go. Oh, make a miss. Look at this.
Yeah, there's Oliviera. That's Oliviera.
Oh, I
told you, he's good, bro. This guy.
He's got some meat on the bones. Where'd he go?
Yeah, look at him. When he gets going, bro, he's Canadian. That's what makes him so valuable because they don't need an American skill guy. They're like, no, we'll put the American guys on the defensive line.
He's gonna have he'll have 100 yards in this game, no doubt in my mind. Should have played alts. No doubt in my mind, he's gonna have 100 yards in this game.
Oh, here he is again. You can see when
the guy's fired up. You can see it, Gabe.
Yeah, it was a good breakdown. You bought into my breakdown when I said, yeah, he's upset. The fans are upset. He wants the ball.
This is not a slight to any of your other breakdowns. That was your best breakdown. Yeah, I didn't even hesitate. Let me go line shopping here. The good thing we had McKinnis on, too. I was like, I kind of checked out for a minute, and I went and I found the prop. We're going to hit a quick break here, guys. We'll come back. We'll get you the rest of the picks.
I think he's going to score a touchdown during a commercial break because the
Yep. right, big decision coming up for Winnipeg. I'm not going to act like I'm not dialed in. You're ahead of me. What are they doing? Kicking or going?
Yeah, you want me to do this?
Yeah, just tell me.
What a wuss-ass move. But for the
not
under.
good for the total.
Dude, what a we're on the under, but wuss-ass move. You got Oliviera. It's 3rd and 2. You need 2 yards. You're on the 5-yard line. Just go for it. You got a rookie quarterback playing on BC. If you don't get it, who cares?
Exactly.
You
Back
pin
him
him in the end zone anyways. Like,
exactly.
You just saw, Kevin, like, this is what Oliviera talks about. Like, you just saw this guy. He's a bowling ball, Kevin.
Yeah.
He's a bowling ball. You're not stopping him like 2 yards. Like, give him the damn ball.
I don't think Winnipeg ran a single play that didn't gain more than 2 yards. But not a single play.
I know. They were running little reverses, runs. They were all picking up 8, 12, big chunk plays.
Bad coaching. And I'm not acting like it's bad coaching because, the CFL don't have coaches. Guys, this is every league everywhere.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
You have an inexperienced quarterback, and you could pin him, like, back. And you have a pissed-off running back that just giving them the damn ball. You would have plowed into the end zone.
It's so annoying, man. That does legitimately hurt the total.
It'll sit around the same here. So what is it now?
Went to 49.
Oh, it did. Oh, I see a 47.5. Big drop.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see? But it doesn't – I mean, because Gabe, like, think about it, though, now, right? Like, clock's ticking. You only got 3 points on the board. Are you really – all of a sudden now – we've seen teams have a good opening drive and not follow it up. Again, across football, right? Like, there's no telling BC are going to just start moving the ball.
It could get worse now for BC offensively. That's the thing. Like, they could start sputtering. Because, that was a scripted, practiced all-week drive, right, Kevin? All right. Exactly. We're going on the road. We're going to do this. This is how we're going to start the game.
Yep.
And, they ran those plays over and over the first 5. CFL, they don't script the first 30 like the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But it's scripted, the first drive still. And so they had a scripted drive, and it got stalled at midfield. Like, once, because that's when it starts to get worse, when Caden has to start thinking for himself. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want him to have to think. Like, just do what we tell you. But that was a wuss-ass move, But I rarely bet unders, Kevin, so far good look for me that I kind of knew. Winnipeg are desperate for a win, too. They screwed the game up last week. They were leading. They ended up giving up 52 points. I was like, they're going to run the ball. They don't want their quarterback screwing up. Their fans don't like their quarterback now, Drew Brown. The fans want the running back getting the ball. How many times did they throw the ball on that drive? Once, I think, and it got called back. They did throw for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was frustrating, man. That was frustrating. They ran some good kind of gadget plays and stuff, but they left a little meat on the bone. Run through a couple of picks here, Gabe, for you.
Oh, my God.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my God.
Uh-oh. I like that.
You can't make this up. Yeah,
I like that.
I'll let you see it. Wow.
I like that. No. It doesn't matter what happens. It has to be
We just said, things will get worse on the second drive. They fumbled the handoff, and Winnipeg recovers it on the 15-yard line.
Perfect.
No, sorry, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's like it's at the third. Sorry, it's 30. And you know what? It wasn't a snap. That's just bad. Like I said earlier, they're a poorly coached team. That's not Caden Salter's fault. You'll see the play here. He snaps the ball. The wide receiver emotions running in front of him, and it hits him.
And guess what? You'll appreciate this. Like, this is how guys, like, listen, we do bet here, right? And everyone knows that about Gabe. Kofsky in the back is sending me tickets on Oliveira live touchdown props. Live CFL touchdown props, Gabe. Like, we don't play around. You throw us a bone, we're gonna get involved. So
wow,
now
I'm
we're
jealous.
Really involved here.
I don't have the live player props.
Yeah,
-105. Olivier scored. He's scored his touchdown. Throwing a 15-yard. He's getting first run. Kofsky. He's running it in right here.
Okay, before we get out of here, I'm on the Liberty.
Oh yeah.
Team total over 89.5. Rest of the night for you.
You know what? Give me the Las Vegas Aces on the money line. I'll wuss out and lay the 80 cents. 85 cents. Give me the Las Vegas Aces on the money line. If you want to parlay the Aces with Mexico, because Mexico are playing in the under CONCACAF 20 championship against Guatemala. Okay. They're like a -350 favorite. I already have them in the back end of a parlay, but I think Mexico are going to win a game. But yeah, give me the Las Vegas Aces on the money line. Give me the Los Angeles Dodgers to win tonight against the Mariners. Give me the under 9 as well in the baseball game.
I did end up playing the Mariners. We'll see how that thing shakes. There is a part of me that wants to find a piece of the Red Sox here. Again, like this, here's the thing, like they've lost a few times where you go, is this going to start to spiral? They bounce back the next game every time. We know the A's are bad, Dodgers on deck. Try and find something with the Red Sox. Great stuff, guys. We're back for a Friday night tomorrow.